Well, hey, church, prayer has been our identity insight focus the last few weeks. We're currently in the latter part of the passage that focuses on our response to God, our personal petitions. As we mentioned last week, Jesus challenges us to make these petitions in light of our understanding of God. In our language as the Vessel Church, our prayer is shaped by how we center our lives a little more each day on the gospel. So take a moment right now and refresh Matthew 6, 9 through 13 in your mind. So forgiveness is the gospel call in verse 12. Forgive us our debts. Debts is, I think, a tame word. It nearly eases the reader into understanding that they have a simple transaction that needs to be forgiven. Now, Matthew isn't wrong, but Luke gives a little more punch to the in his parallel passage. He understands Jesus is saying in Luke 11:4, forgive us our sins. Matthew and Luke are acknowledging that we are sinners, people who have missed the mark, people who came from our mother's womb with hearts already tainted by the rebellion of Adam. To be clear, I don't see this as a penance reaction where we're trying to pay God back to earn his favor. This is an acknowledgement of the forgiveness that he made possible through Christ and the need for us to recognize that Christ's blood still covers today's, tomorrow's, and all the sins that we'll continue to commit. The beauty is when we humbly approach him with this attitude that we start to live as joyful proclaimers. We realize how much we've been forgiven and long for those around us to hear about the same forgiveness that is held out to them also. Jesus takes the model prayer a little bit further. He says, as also we have forgiven our debtors. I've always thought that was a little bit odd. Why does it matter that I forgive others that have sinned against me? Well, it's because my forgiveness is a reflection of the realization that I have in understanding how much I have been forgiven. I can't help but forgive others because I know my sin before God is way more offensive than anything anyone can do to me. And yet God has still fully forgiven me. We are joyful people living every day with lives centered on the gospel. So here are some questions to reflect on. Do you live as someone who humbly recognizes that he has been forgiven much? What are the evidences? Does being forgiven mean that you willingly and without resentment forgive others that have sinned against you? If so, thank God for his forgiveness. Worship in light of that forgiveness and live out a life that wants the world to know that God saves. I hope you guys have a great week. Love you guys.